So one of the hallmarks of the right-wing Republican is the false equivalency claim, or as you probably know it as the, well, what about, then name a Democrat. This is Ben Shapiro, a fast-talking young Republican whose Botox smirk makes it appear like he hasn't taken a shit since William F. Buckley died. And like many Republicans, he tries to balance the evil inside his own party with, and I'll use his own words, the lunacy of the left. Let's start with the breaking news.
Congressman Taylor is investigating this. I am aware of an image that appears to depict a vile and deeply inappropriate symbol near an employee in my office.
All right, so a conservative Republican says the swastika has no place in his party. Now, whether or not that's true, that's the right thing to say. Now, contrast that with the absolute wrong thing to say.
The reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes like that's what kids do.
All right, for starters, J.D. Vance is a fucking moron. And it's so obvious that if he went on a playground today, a 12-year-old would kick his ass. And I love that comment.
That's what kids do.
Dude, they were young Republicans. When I was that age, I was trying to get laid, not supporting gas chambers.
That's what kids do.
Yeah, J.D. Vance is a soulless prick, but also symptomatic of the two faces of this Republican shitfest, where one day they say, Israel forever, and the next day it's, Jews will not replace us! Back to this twat monkey, Ben Shapiro, who was Charlie Kirk 1.0, who's also Jewish and Republican and seemingly disgusted by Vance's words. Yet he nonetheless gives it the old college try, deflecting the blame, shocker, on liberals.
It actually is not sufficient to publicly proclaim you're not going to condemn these people while you don't say anything about their comments and instead just project to the other side. On a strategic level, this is how your party ends up being taken over by the ambulatory psychotics. Okay, I want to look at the left because that's how it happened.
All right, I got to stop you right there. While Shapiro blames Vance for not condemning the swastika and the kids who displayed it, he says Democrats exhibit the same behavior. No.
Because they decided that the nut jobs and the radicals in their own party, crazy college protesters, and the BLM rioters, and the transgender radicals.
Real quick, yes, Democrats have gotten our asses kicked politically because we care about marginalized people. And yes, we fucked up by backing trans men competing against girls and beta blockers for 12-year-olds. But it also doesn't mean trans and gay people should be beat up for it. I mean, why do you guys care if a man wants to dress as a woman? So here's what's wrong with MAGA and Ben Shapiro. They choose religion and fear over reason and science. Why? Because it's easier to say the Bible hates gays than to explain vaccines.
I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
And Ben Shapiro is a symptom of the sickness that has infected American politics and culture. But fair or not, all of this is going to fall on the Democratic Party. We need to learn how to speak to the MAGA base about how we can all somehow come together.
Back and look, if something like this, that thing's so ugly.
Okay, that might take some time.
Goddamn right.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.